Hello, good morning, my beautiful people. Welcome to the program. We are absolutely happy to have you here today. Today is March 2nd of 2024. Scary. We're in the month of March. Next month is Easter, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Okay, so what can we do? We'll continue on our journey, we'll continue on this work. So we are not giving up. Welcome our stakeholders. We thank you for the work that you're doing after the show, before the show. We will get to our destination. The only outcome is for us to get to our destination. So continue to blaze the trail. Before we know it, we'll be there. So welcome. As usual, you know what we do. We share, we subscribe, we hit the notification button, and also throughout the week we break down our videos and put them in a manner that you can watch in 10 minutes or so. So please, when you see it, help us to share because we do understand that not everybody has that ability to to listen to some information for that long. So if you can help us to share those short videos, that's also good work. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
also the data. They don't have data to even do that long one too. It
Oh,
doesn't do, so it will help to fly. Please, that's why it's important to share those short ones as well, please.
right. Okay. So you've heard my sister. So I got Wapu also today. So thank you. My name is Mona Saga, and I am here in Houston, Texas. Um, Go ahead, sister.
Thank you so much. While my sister is trying to pull up the first video, my name is Ekwi, by the way. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you so much for what you're doing. We see how most of you are trying to share with your family members and in groups and everything. We appreciate that because, like we keep saying, this work is for all of us. And it doesn't require noise making, just your intellect. Do what you need to do, you will be fine. Thank you so much. So the first video we want to pull up for you, short videos. We have also always told you that the enemy has penetrated the system. They use three tools: ignorance, which they fund through religion, fear, and then military terror. They are the same. They just change name, just like you see the political thugs in PDP entered APC and became APC. They just change their address, change their name, change their uniform, but they are the same. The enemy has penetrated all the systems. So it's not your church, my church. If we say religion is a tool that are using, it cuts up across all the board. If we say social influencers are being used, if we tell you that everything, it's everyone. So it's for you to calm down your mind. If you have a dog in this fight, you will not understand where we're going because you'll be protecting your dog. Then if you are, the only thing you want is your people
And the truth. And the
and
truth.
the truth, you will be right because you will see everything clear. Clear. You will not even be biased at all. You will see everything clear. So please don't go and put a dog in the fight and start protecting the dog. We want to free our people. That's what we're here to do. Let your mind open and see what we're showing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is how they enjoy our money while our people die of hunger. They even have names that they call their music. Ngwa, get on and make you listen.
Our baller, how much is money? Balling, premium or nothing. Now you know, now you know. I better do. Come here, on it. Ayagaya, 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 digidi, ayagaya, ayagaya, digidi, what's up? Undefeated, undisputed, unopposed, luxury or nothing, premium or nothing. Now you know, now you know. Money is something. It is blessings of blessings. Our Bola, how much is money?
Yep. How much is money? My people are hungry and people are balling. Balling all the way. People that are benefiting from the system. They will take all our wealth, put it in their pockets, and then they will be balling. All in dollar, premium or nothing. On Kainano. I will pull up the next video and we'll show you guys how these people they tie together. When we say they are criminal partners in all our sufferings, people think that, oh, we are jealous. They have the musician part, they have the Nollywood parts, they have the religious parts, and then they have the thugs that are in your government playing and acting as if they are doing things. They are all benefiting from the system. They will go to the church, and the politicians will give to the church to promote them. They just go back and forth, and then the priest or the Daddy Gio will have a birthday, and Flavor and his group will come and collect his. And my dear, is ongoing. So let me pull up the next video, because as we're doing that, they are still begging us to please donate $101 billion. These are the people that have jets. People are dying of hunger. They are not feeding the widows. They are not feeding the children, the orphans. They are not doing anything. All they're doing is hanging with our oppressors and collecting money from them.
Who by the grace of God can give 1 billion naira? Who by the grace of God can give 1 billion naira? Ẹni nípa orí ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run alààyè tí wọ́n lè fún wa ní bílíọ̀nù kọ̀ọ̀kan. Such people should please see my secretary in the office tonight for a very special announcement. Kí gbogbo orú àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ rí akọ̀wé mi nínú ọ́fíìsì wa lálẹ́ yìí fún ìfitónilétí pàtàkì kan. And then there'll be some of you who can say, Daddy, I wish I can give $1 billion, but all I can afford is 100 million. Àwọn kan wà tí ó ní pé bóyá àwọn ọ̀gá fẹ́ ṣe bílíọ̀nù kan yìí, ṣùgbọ́n ohun tí wọ́n lè rí sípa wọn ká, òun náà ni ọgọ́rùn-ún bílíọ̀nù. Such people should also see my secretary after the program tonight. Irú àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ náà.
All right, please continue to help us to share. Don't worry about all you're seeing on the screen. Continue to share. And we're going to pull up our last video. So we are sharing as we are listening to the video. We are also sharing to others, because we are fighting the status quo, and they are not relenting. They are not happy that we are teaching our people what is doing them.
Mass education.
So, but how talk real? Because the information must go out. The information must go out. We need to tie these people together and isolate them.
Yeah.
So we can begin to solve our problems.
Yep.
They are all in this together. They are benefiting from our sufferings. They are as far as I'm concerned, they are the stakeholders in our sufferings.
Yeah.
So let's add them together, know who they are, identify them, isolate them, and then we move.
Yes.
It's not that complicated.
It is not. So simple, so straightforward, because they have what is linking them. They are easy to be identified and isolated.
Those who have been, every day you tune the TV these days, you hear, oh, cost of governance. Some people say, oh, cut down salary of public convoy, come from 124 vehicles. Is it to 50 or to 20? When the leaders of other countries of the world actually drive themselves to work at times, they can have a backup vehicle. It never comes to convoy of this. So where are you going to cut down? Then somebody will say, well, wear one wristwatch, or reduce the allowance of a senator. NINAS has a totally different diagnosis on that subject of cost of governance, because where we are now is that all the money that Nigeria earns is no longer enough to pay for the bureaucracy. That's those that work for government. All the money the country earns no longer enough to pay their salaries, allowances, and finance their corruption, their greed. And we are now borrowing 40 years into the future. Otherwise, tell me what this approval in the National Assembly about the ways and means that they have amortized into 40 years. That is, they've borrowed money into the future to pay the salaries of people who are not there. The rest of the populace entirely on their own. And those in government put together, the entire officials and the police, the army, all of them put together do not come to 1% of the country's population. How many policemen do we have? Probably 300 and some, less than 400,000. The armed forces, 200, less than 300,000. Army, Air Force, Navy, civil defense, all of them put together. Civil service, how many ministries do we have? How many people are on the payroll in those ministries as people who government has to pay them? They don't all come to 2 million from the 200 million. That's 1% of the population should be over 2 million. We don't have a 2 million government. We don't have a we don't have that number of people running what we call the government for us. And so we're saying that if we think that it is by giving up one little allowance here or cutting down a convoy there that is going to reduce the cost of governance, is because we do not know where the cost of governance is coming from. NINA's alternative, because for every one thing we say is being done in some way, NINA's has its own prescription, and the alternative, it has its own diagnosis, and therefore the alternative prescription. Cost of governance. The reason we are spending all the monies that Nigeria earns trying to service the 1% that run, less than 1% that run the government, is that we are now financing, as a country, we are financing 812 governments. 812 governments from 5 at the time we were a federation. We had 4 regions and 1 federal government. That was all. And governance was being provided at that time. Emma Okpara took the eastern region to where it became the global reference. Awolowo in his time took the western region to where it was making waves globally. Ahmadu Bello managed to, in chasing after the other 2 regions, also dragging his own people along. The Midwest did not fail too. So 5 governments, 4 regional and 1 federal, provided more services, more education, more healthcare, welfare generally to the citizen than all of what we have now. Today we have federal government, 36 states, Federal Capital Territory, that's 37, 774 local government areas. Combine all of them, and you will see the number of the number of governments that every month we come, they say, oh, fuck, 600 billion, 700 billion naira shared to go and pay for bureaucracy. What are we doing? How did we arrive at 36 states? Other than the brigandage of those who were carving out those who fractured the 4 regions into 12 states and went on by decree with no reference to implication for financing or implication for what then gets to the citizen if you have to provide this number of bureaucracies. That's how we got to where we are, that we are financing 812 or so governments. The solution is to dress back from that structure. People that talk about restructuring, it is because the structure of 812 governments that have to be financed every month from citizens that cannot get a dime for healthcare, education, or any kind of thing that is their own. That is where we got to this humongous cost of governance. The solution is to dress back and accept that we can no longer keep 704 local government areas on the list in the constitution, for which reason they have to be financed every month. The people who put it there were the same people who created 44 local government areas for Kano. At the time, Bayelsa has only 8. There's nothing any president can do about this structure, no matter how well intentioned they may be. He's only going to be, anybody who becomes president will only be that one person, one president. He's not going to change Nigeria from the 36 state structure or 704 local government area structure that becomes basis of sharing, opportunities and even resources and representation at the place of decision making. So cost of governance. If we truly want to address the cost of governance, we must deconstruct this useless multiplicity of bureaucracies.
You can say that again. You can say that again. You can say that again. And some people are just crying wolf instead of listening to the voice of reason. Go ahead.
And it's so simple and straightforward. And we'll repeat these things for you because they said that when you repeat something, eventually it will register, especially something that over 200 years, they told you something else, brainwashed you. And the only treatment for ignorance is information, accurate information. So that's why we are taking our time to come and administer this treatment to you. Yes, you're all sick and you need treatment. Anybody that does not understand that if you are in a structure, in a structure that is caging you, there's nothing you can do to grow because you're contained in that container. You'll be there. So the only solution is to break away from the structure. Just common sense. However, because some of you are ill, because they have brainwashed you with religion, with fake, everything fake information, fake education, fake everything. So you're struggling to get it. Some that are even in this struggle, when they come in, they want to protect one segment of the enemy or the other. Oh, that's my man of God. That's my woman of God. That's my bishop. That's my father. That's my priest. You never ready. You never ready. And you know what? Hunger never wire you. Because Nigeria will happen to you. You, all of you. Has Nigeria not happened to Mwigwe? When we are carrying fires, chasing them, technocrats. See, this is what is happening, and this is what we know. No, they close their ears. We are the smartest guys, and we make billions. Negin a billion. So we are still pleading and begging our people to open their ears. We know some of you are comfortable, but what of your neighbor? What of the widows? What of the orphans? Are you going to remain their Messiah? It's only when you give them a cup of rice they can eat. Does that make sense to you? You're traveling abroad everywhere. Is that how they live everywhere? You want people to depend on you. They will not eat except you give them. And what you give them is even crumb. And add insult on top of it. Is that how to live? The Bible you're reading, is that what it taught you? He became the God of the people. Is that God's plan? That is not his plan. So please continue to help us to share. Allow my sister to take it from here. Are you ready, my sister?
Yes, my dear, it's amazing what our people are just going through. All right. So our topic today is in order. No elected person has the power to make a new constitution. No elected person has the power to make constitution, so that you don't get confused when Abakanabo will come out and tell you otherwise, or whatever his name is. All the criminals, their names are so jumbled up, you can't even pronounce their names. So don't let them come out and tell you otherwise. Thomas Jefferson, according to Thomas Jefferson, when the people fear their government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. So educate and inform the whole mass of the people, because it's the only sure reliance for preservation of our liberty. And that's why we come out here every Saturday to engage you so that you will know what your rights are. As hardship bites harder, the urgency of the need to dismantle anti-progress, anti-development, and debt-dispensing unitary constitution of Nigeria becomes unequivocal. So whether we talk of humongous cost of governance, the uncontrollable corruption, or the near absence of major infrastructure, refineries, security, electricity, and others, which are all locked in and detained by the British Caliphate imposed British Caliphate Unitary Constitution Order of One Nigeria. One thing is now clear, that even to the blind, deaf and dumb, that hunger is real in Nigeria. So the unitary structure of Nigeria and the shackling 68-item federal exclusive legislative list of the fraudulent 1999 Constitution will not bring the progress or the prosperity that we urgently need to cater to our teeming population, most of whom live beyond the poverty line. So today, as a team dedicated to educating and informing the indigenous peoples of Nigeria about their rights, we will continue to guide you towards your sovereignty, liberty, and constitutional protections. So wake up and do the right things, because if you don't, they will play you. They will come to the church and take $1 billion from one of you guys. They will go on the other side and tell you, Ebola, and you'll be bawling. Hunger will be striking you. So these people have set up our system where for you to eat now, you have to go to occasion of one of the big men. It's not okay for you to eat in your house anymore. It's not okay for a mother to wake up and prepare and say, oh, I know what to give to my toddler. I know what to give to my infant. That is food to give to my teenagers. No. You're waiting for the big ballers, premium or nothing, luxury or nothing, to have parties for you to go and eat. And our people are okay with it. Our people are even defending these criminals that are leaking the blood of our people. You guys will defend them. I know so many of you that will come out with, well, if you hear us talk about your God, because that's what they want to become. They want to become your God. It's not okay for you to live on your own anymore. It's not okay for a man to feel like a man, be able to take care of his family. It's not okay. They have stripped our people of all of that. Turn them into thugs. When you say a Flav, what's his name? Emele Flav, because now here again. His thugs will come out and fight you.
Nke ahụ ịbalị amaka efulefu emefele mana efulefu is better.
Okay, so that's what they do. There's no man left in our land because they have stripped all of them of their dignities. They don't have any left. They don't have any left. So they're going to the church to see if the man with the 1 billion naira, because if somebody agrees, you can see they will go to behind and meet the secretary. So now you know who to follow, because they stole the wealth of the masses, like our brother Tony explained earlier, packed it up in name of government entities. And nothing is moving forward. Nothing is moving forward. And we know the only way you will ever get what you deserve in that place is for you to follow this strategy. And there's a reason why we as mothers, as Omoada, as sisters, as aunties, as whatever you want to see us at, coming here every day, because that's where your freedom lies. Any other thing is a facade. Any other thing is to distract you. Any other thing will benefit the criminal entities. We are here. We come out here no matter what, rain or shine, whatever difficulties that we are going through. We come here because this is where you can see how hard Facebook is working on Facebook. We have almost 20,000 followers, but they cannot allow people to watch it. But guess what? Work is going. We continue to acknowledge our food soldiers. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for picking up these videos and taking it to our people, because the work is offline, not even online. So let me pull up the PowerPoint of the day while my sister add.
Yes, my sister. We'll always come here to tie the knots for you. Sometimes you look, you say, how is this connected to this? If you think deep, you will see the connection. So please continue to help us to share to our people, your groups. They are getting it. They are getting it because we are seeing feedbacks, so showing that they are getting it. So my sister is up, and then I'll allow her to take it from here.
Right. So it goes back to our topic. No elected person has the power to make a constitution. You can see where they have blinded us with the one that they made. The one that they made with their girlfriends in the other bedroom and the other restroom, and their homeboys on the other side drinking beer. Look at how it has ended. Now they are all enjoying while we are all perishing. It's all about them. They will destroy the place that we call our home and come and live in diaspora. All their children, none of them wants to go back there. I meet all of them all the time. None of them wants to go back to that place. It's a place for them to go and play gang membership. Once they gang up and terrorize everybody, take all our resources, they will bring it down here to enjoy themselves while you perish. None. None has nothing to offer to our people. So our objective today is to look at what is called the Peter Principle, how these Nigerian mega churches are funded with the country's stolen wealth. If you guys recall the story of that sister in Abuja that took the salary and go and give to church not too long ago.
Sorry.
Huh?
Slides not flowing. Slides not moving.
What in the world? Okay, let's see. Stop sharing. It's not moving. Oh.
Please continue to like. We're trying to pull up the slide so that you can follow it as it's going. You look at it, because when you hear something and then you look and see it, it registers better. That's why we'll take time to make these slides for us, because we want this information to get into you and you understand it. Okay.
Are you seeing it?
Yes, I'm seeing it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. So our number 3 objective is to look at what Nigeria urgently needs as hardship bites harder, because it will be even worse. And then we'll look at our pathway that is anchored on truth. We keep telling you guys on this show that if you don't adhere to the truth, if you don't want to open your ear to the truth, that means you may be seeing your ancestors soon before you know it. Only the truth can set us free. You know that thing that our mothers were telling us for ages, that the truth will set you free, the truth will set you free, the truth will remain constant, whether you like it or not, the truth will always be there. You can go and come and the truth remains the same. That's the only thing that will set us free. And the Nina strategy is based on the truth. Our template is based on the truth. It's not based to make us become famous. It's not based, if anybody can do this job better than me, please come ahead though, because I'm not enjoying this. So if you think you know better, you can do this, you can deliver this message even better than we are doing, you are definitely welcome. And of course, we cannot end without looking at the Nina's 5-point agenda and then our announcements. So let's look at the Peter Principle. This is a principle that was developed by Dr. Lawrence Peter, therefore that name, Peter Principle. So he talked about how a company or a country get bunch of incompetent people at leadership and management positions. We see it all around us. For years, they made it sound like my mother, who is full of wisdom. My mother, who is so smart. My mother, who understands while Ndara, the English-speaking mad people, were everywhere. They can't tie their shoes. They can't manage a wife and 2 kids, but they are in charge. They will be running a church of 1 million people, but they cannot maintain a wife. And my people are following them. In Peter's Principle, it's a system where people are promoted based on tenure or their success in previous roles, irrespective of their capacity to excel in the new position. I know of a very brilliant clinician, scientist, very brilliant. But because she has a lot of money, grant money, they made her a chair of a department. Come and see, come and see elementary school style of leadership here, man. Gossip. She will forget that she's the chair and she'll be gossiping everywhere. And when we do all of this, because when we push people to go and do things that they are incapable of doing, it causes them to start suffering from identity crisis. So if you look at the picture on the left, actually it's on my right, it says it's the idea that people will be promoted to a point where they are no longer qualified, leaving a company full of incompetent fools. Because you see it all the time. Every day you're going to meetings. The same thing. Somebody needs to get fired. We keep having meetings. Somebody is not able to do their jobs. And we have another meeting next week. Every time they're scheduling meetings when there is a way out. And we can see that at the end of the day, it ends up deterring everybody from moving forward. And we want to tie this to the Nigerian churches that we see and their politicians as well. We know that Nigerian politicians, that they move from being a successful political thugs and ballot box snatchers. We know them. If you go and look at the history of those currently in charge of our space, in terms of governors, in terms of senators, go and look at them. They are the ones that were snatching food from dormitory first. That's where they started. They pass plate. Those who pass plate, they will snatch everybody's plate and run. They never graduated from school. They were the leaders of the what is that called, courts system at that point. The same people. So when their friends left and went overseas, they became the 419ers. So they went from political talk and ballot box snatchers to fraudulent political party representative. We see them. I once met a guy, a guy that doesn't know his left from right. I was told he's a local chairman for one local area that I know of. I don't want to mention it by name because I don't want to offend that person at this point. From there, they go to criminal local government chairmanship, and then they will become representative, Ndoti Oti, and the son, Oti, not Oti, what is that? The guy that after running Abia State, his son took over.
Okorocha? Is it Okorocha?
No, it's not Okorocha. Look at the this thing. Maybe somebody will write it down on the thing for us. I can
Okay, somebody.
I can see the comment box. You know, the guy after the one that went after
Oji. Is it Oji Kano?
No, it's after Oji Kano, and then it was the next one.
My
And
dear.
they are all criminals, all of them. So they will go from governor, they will become ministers, then of course they are eyeing to be our president. Ndayem and Hawunduri, that we have confirmed that they are criminal. So once competent people often get promoted to a point where we know that they can no longer do anything.
Sorry, somebody wrote Theodore Oji. Is that
yes, Oji, my dear Mahana Oji.
I don't know Oji Kano.
Yes.
Oji. I'm like, what?
That's him. Yes. So at the end of the day, we leave the company with a bunch of incompetent employees and leaders. People no longer have anything to offer to their community. They just work for reward. At the end of the day, everything collapsed. That's why in Nigeria, everything is collapsing. Yeah, as long as you're getting your check, you don't care if you're the Fulani person that didn't finish high school is your oga. As long as you're getting your own promotion, you can see he can write one communication to the next department. But he's your oga, and you think you're going to move forward. It's okay to continue to collect your salary. So let's tie this to our mega churches that are everywhere that we see. We saw what is that baby guy? What's his name?
Paul Adefarati or something like that.
No, the one that is dancing to $1 million. What is his name?
Is it Flavor?
Flavor, my dear. I keep trying to call him Ijele for some reason. Okay, yes.
Because he sang a song also. I called Ijele. I think so.
Yes, I don't know why I want to call him Ijele so bad. Anyway, so that one, So we're giving examples with Deeper Life, Winners, RCC churches, and franchise. We can see that these people, well, first of all, they don't know God because everything they have, they are selling. I was telling Sister Kuya about how they played me. I was played. They will bring a what is it called, visiting pastor at the end of the year, because I used to be a member of RCCG.
RCCG, yeah, Redeem.
They will bring a visiting pastor.
Guest pastor, yeah, guest.
Yes, he will come. He usually come towards the end of the year. And then he will do the Christmas, and then they will line us up to come back for a whole week for firing prayer for next year.
Mm-hmm.
This criminal came and told us how he bought a house in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, he reminded us that his child, the school fees that they pay for his son is bigger than all of our salary. But they're asking us to donate money. Meanwhile, I was dumb enough to give them my credit card because they came to church and did POS. I have never seen anywhere in American church. They convinced us to get a POS, and then you scan the code on the screen because they have this huge screen, and you get it on your phone, and then you sign up.
Will just be running.
Huh?
I said the money will just be running in.
The money will just be running in every week. They will snatch money from you. So this man came. He told us he bought a house in Dallas, and God blessed him with a house. And his son is in Ora Roberts, religious school of nonsense, and his school fees is 60,000. I've never heard of Ora Robert before then. Excuse me, 60,000 school fees a year. Or I don't know if it was a semester or a year, and God has funded all of that for him. But he was asking his God, how is it that he can have a house with no garage? I mean, with two garages, and he doesn't have a car? So he was telling God and telling his congregants, and before he left Dallas to come to Houston for the mega stealing, because that's what it is. Some, brainwash, which, I used to be brainwashed. Brainwash member came and said, oh, I'll have a Mercedes. So as he's telling us now, that Mercedes is in his garage. And that's how his God rocks.
Akupuriaka.
Incompetent church leaders teaching us that we can create wealth without enterprise. Promising us how God is going to, they're just bamboozling people to give them stuff. False prosperity teaching. They will steal our resources so that they can enable them to secure political positions. So honey, then I go hand in hand. That's why that the GO will bring us Buhari and tell us Buhari will change everything that bothers us.
Yeah.
That Buhari is the man.
Baka will tell you that hope is giving hope to Ndimo State. And good luck is bad luck. So Buhari is now their prayer answered. Wow.
Buhari is now their prayer answered. To reward them for a job well done, RCC, for example, will do a mass ordination for politicians and the rich to expand their business empire and franchise. Because you're as a member, you get to give big money. That's why he can easily and boldly come out and say, is there anyone here willing to give him 1 billion? Is there anyone here? Okay, if you don't have 1 billion, that's okay. If you can do 100 million, just meet me at the back.
Onukweya, his mouth to agree.
What an audacity.
Try.
So what we have now is the religion of the rich, by the rich, for the rich. They are buying everything. Everything is for sale, including your private party. So the money is the criteria for selection of these pastors, not anointing and gift. Go and check these pastors. They are terrorizing their wives and their children. Monsters. Go and check. If you want to know the status of your wife, go and check of your pastor. Go and check the wife. You can see that she has been bamboozled.
Enslaved women. But they have to wear hats and come on Sunday. Daddy,
and be first lady.
Praise the Lord. Yeah, because you're addicted to cocaine called fake.
Unbelievable. And we know that this bulk of the money is coming from all of us. They're stealing money that is meant to build roads for us, money that is meant to pay our salaries. Can you imagine the government that is now borrowing into the future? Isn't that scary? We are not sustaining ourselves. We are borrowing into the future. 40 years.
40 years into the future. They have sold their children.
Go ahead, my sister. It's unbelievable.
My dear, it's crazy. And this is why we keep telling our people that all these people work hand in hand. That's why they will not embrace Nina's strategy. Because they will say, oh, what is there in church? Because some people make some daft like defense. We are telling you that because of their benefits, they benefit from the rotten system. They will not want that system to go down. So when we are doing programs like this, they will close their ears because the system is benefiting them. The rotten system is working for them. And we are here to call them out. We are not even playing that game. My sister asked, say, where is the bulk of this money coming from? All this money that they're throwing around. Throw here, throw here. Use it to do I'm a baller. Dollar is talking. My money is here. Your tithe is speaking. Your offering is dancing. Where is it coming from? Is the money meant for infrastructure? The money they acquire through corruption. The politicians acquire through corruption. The technocrats, so-called, acquired through corruption, and donate to them as seeds, tithes, offerings to secure support from the masses in the church whenever they are ready to go into their sham of election or selection.
Nonsense.
You see how it's linked? My people say, na nwata na-ata akara na-ata ego ya. When you are there hailing your bamboos, your fraudulent pastors and priests, there goes your hospital, there goes your road, there goes your schools. Everything is going. So when you lose your loved ones in accident, know you are part of it.
Yep.
Because the money that was supposed to be used to build the roads were given to your pastors and his wives for them to live their lavish lifestyle. So you have no reason to complain. Just go gently, go into your house and buy. Because you can't be supporting something that is killing you and you have the audacity to complain. How dare you? You are the one funding the fraud. You are the one hailing and celebrating the fraud. Why will you be crying? So they bring this money in so that they will support them and so that your geos and mama geos will pray for them and pour groundnut oil on their head and call it olive oil. What's all that drama for? How come in developed countries we're not seeing all that drama? But they have to fool you because you're not thinking. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. We come here that you might have information in that your coconut head. Because there's a reason God created it and put gray matter inside it. It's for you to pick information, analyze it, and then process it properly. But if you refuse to use it, to become a coconut head. Money meant for industries, factories are donated to mega churches.
Chimo.
They close down factories where you will be employed working and build church where you come in and dance Bola. Money is speaking. See how I'm shining. And these things are not making sense to you. Do not be deceiving yourself. We have information, allegedly, that late Nwigwe, this is an example, because here we tell you that this show, we don't have time to carry propaganda or lies. We go, our work is that we go around, bring the things. They must be in social media, it must be out. Bring it for you and present to you. Nwigwe, for example, donated 500 million naira to his own RCCG branch, the franchise. That franchise like McDonald's.
Of course.
Yeah. Kentucky chicken fries.
Well, you have to mention the difference though. This one belongs to a family, not to a company, right?
Yeah, that's why it's a franchise. So franchise, you take part of it, you can make it to be your business, family business. Do you understand? The company is your family company. So that's why it's a franchise. Different owners at different places, but it still belongs to the name of McDonald's. So, but they are run differently because it's a franchise. So if the family decides that in this station we bring in all the criminals and dance a Bobola, it's the franchise. So they have the right to do it.
As long as you bring the rest to the headquarters, right?
Exactly, because there's a percentage you take to the headquarters. Everything, then you keep the one that you can keep. So the men on top, DGO Adeboye, we only pick people. We were in this system and we know we're not talking from outside. You'll be surprised when I tell you how far we have gone inside. I keep quiet and not say them because this is not time to say. When the time comes, we know what to say. So they won't pick the most gifted and most anointed. They will pick the richest person that has entered the church. And who is the rich person? It must be a politician, it must be a fraudster, 419, whatever, and anoint them and make them pastor. And then give them a church, a branch to go. They won't give them any money, nothing, just go and open. So that person is free to take loan, free to get everywhere, anywhere you want to get from, and build that franchise and then take the percentage. It's just like what Ekperiman Nandekano tried to do with IPOB because he came to USA and told us we're going to open all the franchise in all the states. We say, Is that the freedom that we are talking about? So we nabbed him. We say back on Ebi. So that's why we call it Biafra fraudulent franchise. So this word mega church fraudulent franchise. So we were, for instance, gave them 5 million at a time. We don't know what the one that he has given or he has been given. Then gave them also 1 billion naira interest-free loan. Who is not paying the interest? If he could take 1 billion from Access Bank and give to them without interest, who is paying it? Is you, the poor people. Because that means the people that are going into business will not see the money to use to do business, or even if they will see they will charge them more interest. Because this thing, no free lunch in any way. Somebody has to pay. You have to rob Peter to pay Paul. No vacuum. So they are all partners in the demise of our people and the country. They work hand in hand. We had placed the choir members on salary for years. We did not go and build factory. He did not go and build industry. He went to fund a center, a business center, where the people will be brainwashed even more and more. I'm not judging
I
you.
won't ask him how he made his money now, because
Exactly.
Nobody will be asking, nah, how come? Where did he get this one from?
Exactly. So it's not about judging, it's about presenting facts to you so that you can use it to do what you want. I don't have time to judge anybody. World is going to judge you. The universe is going to judge everyone. My one is to bring it out for you. Use your brain and look at it. So they are partners in what is happening to you. 1 week after his horrible demise, not just him and his family, what happened? They moved on. The people that he has given all these things to moved on, because life must go on. Criminality must continue. Stealing and balling must continue. How much is money? Balling and balling. Premium pastors must continue. You see, when you do not fight evil, evil will spread and affect all of you. Everyone will be affected. If they could do this to their rich, so-called rich friend, and I hear that man's wife and them, they're very close. If they could do this to them, what happens to common poor masses? What happens to you? You do not count. You don't count in anything that's going on. We keep telling people, it's not everyone that must be a pastor. But because that is what is selling, every criminal has to come in, or the 419, everybody. It's easy to carry Bible. I tell somebody, I say, there's nothing that if you want to support from Bible, you will not see a verse to support it. There's nothing. Anything in this world, if you want to support it from Bible, there must be a verse. But you know what? Most of the time, that verse is misquoted, taken out of context, and misapplied. Because that's what criminals do. They go into that verse, bring out something and pull it out. Because you have not read the scriptures. Because you have not sat down. Like Paul said, you should be like the Berea Christians that will sit down and study scriptures so that you will not be bamboozled. No, they will bamboozle you and you'll be following them like goats. In a land where there's so much hunger, so much lack and suffering, in the famine season, when the church should be weeping, setting up repentance, altar for repentance, calling for solemn assemblies. No empathy, no emotional intelligence. Very callous people. Premium pastors say premium or nothing. Balling. Yeah, your money is balling. It's cooking and frying. And we'll be wasting it. It's all about money. The spirit of mammon has taken over. Scamming our people with religion. Starting from Rome, don't think it's only these Pentecostals, because these Pentecostals learned from the original owners. The original owners of Christendom, because it's doom from Rome. That is how the colonial masters packaged that thing they packaged and spread it all over. We are not saying that Yeshua is packaged. No. We're not saying that God is not real. No. This Yeshua was a Jewish man. In Jerusalem, he preached the gospel, true gospel. But by the time the disciples that he sent message to spread the message around the world got to Europe, got to Rome, of course, you know it was Rome that colonized Israel when Yeshua was alive. And they executed him. They crucified him and took him out. So they gathered, the same way they destroyed him is the same way his disciples, they destroyed them. Go and read history. Destroyed them and took the gospel from them, manipulated it, marinated it in lies, and turned it upside down and began to use it to colonize the whole world. And this was a prophecy fulfilled, because if you go in scriptures, you see where that prophecy was given, that was going to happen. So by the time these Pentecostals saw what the colonial masters did, they too copied them and now did their own higher. So now the money, they build their own kingdom, individual kingdoms. But the colonial masters, when they come, they build the kingdom of Rome, kingdom of Wales, kingdom of England, kingdom of everywhere they build, not the kingdom of God yet. So the prayer that Yeshua prayed, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, that prayer has not been answered. The kingdom of God is not being built yet. What we have now is kingdom of men, and that's why you're suffering. There's no way the kingdom of God will come and the people will be in this suffering.
No way.
The gospel is for liberation. So go and read your scripture and don't come here to come and start playing church politics with us, because we know what we're talking about. So it's all about scamming the people to fund their lavish lifestyle and fuel the corruption in the society. The system is already collapsed. So who will know who? Then you just do whatever you want to do. Celebrating stolen wealth in the face of countrywide hunger crisis.
Wickedness in the highest order.
Does it make sense to anybody? And you are trying to defend this evil. I don't want to pronounce any curse. These are the people that Yeshua used Cain, correct whip, to whip out of the house of his father. See, my father's house should be a place of prayer, not a place where you bring in 419. Some people say, oh no, it was not done inside the church. It was done outside in the hotel. Because you think that church is a building. That's what your brain is telling you. We tell people that you don't have any church. What you have is 419, fraud. When we're telling our people to go and build their spirituality, because why you are allowing yourself to be tormented by this spirit of Baal, Beelzebub, this evil, God still remains God. And those that worship him in truth and spirit are still getting the benefit of that relationship. You are the one allowing yourself to be bamboozled. Our people are dying of hunger, fainting on the streets. And then a human being or human beings that call themselves pastors, that are supposed to be shepherd, to be worried about what is going on. What can we do to free our people? No, they will wear diamond and balling and balling. And somebody that suck her mother's breast say it's okay because you have a dog in the fight and you must protect it. You see what will happen to all of you? Nigeria will happen to all of you. Nigeria will happen to all of you one by one. For supporting evil, for seeing truth and saying no to truth and embracing lies. And you say you want to do freedom fighting. You say you want to free the people. You never read. You never read. You must take all your dogs out of the fight so that when you enter, it will make sense. We're talking about Nigerian mega churches. How Nigerian mega churches are funded with the country's stolen wealth. We broke it down for you. We showed you videos for you to see what is happening. You cannot live in ignorance anymore. You cannot deceive yourself either, because the truth is naked on the street, dancing. It's not hidden anymore. So we'll go to the next section. What Nigeria urgently needs as hardship bites harder is biting and is continuing to bite. But we will tell you what is needed. To curtail all these excesses and rascality, we need urgent dismantling of the anti-progress, anti-development, and death-dispensing unitary constitution of Nigeria, like my sister said at the introduction. You see this unitary structure of Nigeria, and the one that is encircling the encircling 68-item federal exclusive legislative list of that fraudulent 1999 constitution. They can no longer be the basis of this union or the terms for our coexistence, whether you like it or you don't like it. We are telling you the truth, and this needs to happen urgently. Running around and deceiving yourself will not solve this problem. Because once this is done, it will help to restore and preserve the sovereignty, liberty, and the constitution-making rights of the Nigerian indigenous peoples, the owners of the land, the real owners of the assets. And then it will enable them, these true owners of the assets, to manage their ancestral land, their assets and resources, as well as people. It will take it away, to take this thing that is everywhere flying. They will take their resources, manage and use to feed their children and their family members. This unitary structure is why we have humongous cost of governance. For those that say, cost of governance, where is it coming from? Oh, we need to curtail it. How? You will leave what is bringing it. And then have you seen that you're not serious? The structure, the 1999 constitutional order, is financing 812 governmental units. 812. Bureaucracy. We have not even talked of building what to build for the people. My dear, please, the next slide. We're talking about offices. Office with office, with billions of people working inside that have to be paid every month before you even start saying, are we going to build road or hospital? My people, there are 812. From 4 to 812. Oh, 45 to 812. And you're saying you are poor? You have to fund this madness. 36 states, 774 local government structure, including the overbloated Fulani federal government and the irresponsible FCT administration. They have to be funded to do nothing. I remember one ambassador in those days, if you just come to work, he would just close door, lie down in the couch in his office and just be sleeping. He's not doing anything. He doesn't know what to do because there's nothing for him to do. When it's time, he will go home and meet his wife, his second wife then. This is why we have duplicated ministries and agencies of corruption. Have you ever been to the ministries in Nigeria, many offices in Nigeria? All this, they are ministry of this, ministry of this. They just sit down and be eating popcorn. If it's season for corn, they'll be, hey, buy me corn and coconuts, corn and ube. If you enter there, nothing is happening. Then they have to be funded. And somebody say, oh, we are hungry. Hunger never catch you. It never come. It's still they do press up for heaven. The hunger will go mama una. And as you're doing all this nonsense, population is increasing. People are giving birth like rats. Some are marrying 20 wives, each producing 10. and you're even saying that you're hungry, the hunger never starts. It's just a warm up. Are we talking about the uncontrollable corruption with resources leaking out from everywhere to all the criminals that are hanging on top of window and doors, like
Leaking out indeed. Leaking out.
politicians, religious leaders? My people, we are not telling you what you don't know. Forget that we come here to talk. We discuss with them, we meet them, we know them, we see them in the society. Where we are by the grace of God is some that we are able to see them. Just that when we see them, we don't even talk to them, because when we look at them, we feel so sad. And it's so like you look at it, you don't even know. You feel like you want to begin to cry. So we know what we're saying. You cannot control your corruption because the doors everywhere, wind everywhere is leaking out. All the criminals are hanging, dragging their own. This one pull their own, pull this one. Look at our beautiful sister, Halima. He says Hajia Halima Shehu. Nde Fulani. They will bring all their wives and sisters and daughters and everything, hang them in different positions. Breaking news. EFCC. He said, I stole by mistake. This is Halima saying. Hey!
I would love to steal by mistake too. Even with good intentions.
Yay! 44 billion naira from government account in 5 days. Stolen by mistake.
You see why Daddy G is asking for only one?
Yes.
Because she will still have 43 left.
Exactly. You stole 44 billion. Daddy GO is asking for 1 billion. Any of you here can give me 1 billion. See me at the back with my secretary. Daddy GO is just asking for, he's saying it might come 10 because this is from Halima, 44 billion. So if you give Daddy GO 1 billion, then Mbweke might steal 44. See the other one that call herself Edu better. That one I don't know how many one is still. So you go give a winner. Where's that man? Adeboye, no. Oyedepo. You give him his own 1 billion. So I mean, why will I talk? My mouth is full now. If I'm eating, will I be talking? That's why they're not talking, because their mouths are full.
Yeah, and this is what she agreed to, 44 million. So it could be 444 billion that we are talking about here. And she left it at 44. She forgot the last 4.
Yes, 44 billion.
And
you suspect that the system will not collapse? That's why I told you that we are not number 6 oil producing country. We must be number 1. It's just that they don't want us to know the real one. Which place are you taking things like this and the place is still remaining and human beings are there walking up and down? Are we talking about the near absence of major infrastructure, refineries, security, electricity?
Which they're telling you can get by coming to their churches.
Yes.
And give tithes and offerings. So that God will protect you when you have an accident. So that job will manufacture from heaven and land on your laps.
Yes. All these are locked up and detained by the British Caliphate imposed British Caliphate unitary constitutional order of one Nigeria. They stole all your resources, locked it up in one container, and they are now dispensing it. When they look at your face, they say, okay, I think you have smiled enough. I take 1 naira. Oh yeah, Ndiaba. Okay, people have made too much noise. Oh yeah, let's release your 20-year your mega power that Pat Nnaji tried to build 20 years ago, and they seized it. So if you make enough noise, they will throw one for you. I say, yeah, the Berenka, a warfare.
And a warfare will be clapping.
A warfare will dance. Yay! Because you're all slaves. Is it even right that somebody will steal what belongs to you and then come and return one part of it? 1 out of 200 billion. This is 44 billion. They give you 1 naira. You're jumping. Isi adigima. Uburugana walk. Ndi Igbo. Una brain they walk so. it needs to be done urgently. The 1999 Constitution needs to go down immediately. We're not talking of amendments. We're not talking about whatever. It needs to go down, all of it, complete, to free the indigenous peoples so that they can begin to take their destiny into their hands. Our pathway is anchored on truth. We keep saying it. We don't need lies. We don't need propaganda. We don't need noise making, because our pathway is anchored on truth. That's why we say that no elected person has the power to make a new constitution on behalf of these distinct indigenous ethnic nations. Because these distinct, if you want, let them be 1,000, we don't care. These distinct indigenous ethnic nations are the constituent members, and their sovereignty is inalienable. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Because according to the 2007 United Nations Declaration Declaration for the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, it said they are entitled to self-determination. It is theirs to exercise. The only caveat is that they need to organize themselves so that they can exercise that right. The constitution making all over the world, anywhere in the world, is by constituent members of a union, not elected lawmakers. Deputy Speaker of Nigeria's National Assembly, take note, because some of you behave as if you went to school, but when you do what you do, it's as if you don't even have brain, let alone going to school. I'll read it again. Constitution making is by the constituent members of a union. It's not by the person that was employed, the elected lawmaker. The elected lawmaker, your own is just to make law. That's after they have made the constitution and put all the structure on the ground. You will now begin to make laws. Constitution making is not within your mandate. You don't have that mandate because the land does not belong to you. One person know the answer, we. You are not representing the people in that sense, because constitution making is a foundational law, is a contract, is the beginning of anything that you want to do. Done first by these ethnic nationalities. They are the owners of the land. These constituent union members retain the mandate to make constitution and decide on their constitutional order or arrangement. If you jump and say he doesn't want to form a nation with Igbo man, is his right, is within his rights, and he can decide it through referendum. If Yoruba man say, I don't want to be near Yoruba man, is his right. If Hausa man say, I don't want to be in a union with Yoruba man, it is their right as indigenous people. But you must be living on your ancestral land. Otherwise, somebody will just stroll out from one place and say, I'm an indigenous person, like Biafra people. They will jump out and say, put indigenous inside Biafra and say it's indigenous Biafra. Biafra of indigenous. No, that's the height of ignorance. You must be a distinct ethnic nation living on your ancestral land. We are Ndi Igbo living on Ani Igbo. Yoruba people living on Yoruba land. When you have finished through referendum, decide how you want to live. That's when name, you might now decide to say, okay, what name do we want to answer? Then they will do another plebiscite too. They will do another vote, say this is what we want to answer. We want to be known as this, as that. So we have never done it that Ndi Igbo now gave our right of being Ndi Igbo, now became Biafra. It has not happened. So you are still just behaving like Nigeria. And I don't know how this is difficult for the so-called educated people that call themselves Igbo elite to understand this simple thing that even market women understand. I think it's this spirituality that worries their brain, because religion has damaged their brain, so they can't reason very well. One was telling me that Jehovah will do it. I said, Jehovah will do what he has told you to come and do. Lazy babu. So, sovereignty, because we are telling you that everything we are doing is anchored on truth. Sovereignty belongs to the indigenous ethnic nations on their ancestral lands. You can't claim sovereignty if you're on somebody else's land. Igbo man cannot go to the land of Ijaw man and say, I want to claim sovereignty. Ijaw people will wire you. For you to claim your sovereignty, it must be on your ancestral land. And it's common sense. They alone have the mandate to make constitution. There is currently no union, and we keep saying it. Ninas keep saying it. There is no union called Nigeria. What we have is the colonial masters imposed entity on our ancestral lands. If we want to form union, we will be aware and we will be part of the process. We, the indigens, Ndi Obodo, we will be part of the process. If we have never been engaged, then it has not started. So if you want all your criminal politicians, your religious criminals, continue to fool around. If you're holding something that belongs to a child, when your hand is tired, you go down. Your hand will go down. And if you're fighting with somebody and wrestling the person down, you're holding yourself as well. This forgery, called 1999 Constitution, cannot and will not and will never be the basis of our union.
Say that again.
This forgery, called the 1999 Constitution, cannot, will never, ever be the basis of our union. We did not make it. We did not agree on it. We did not discuss it. So it's not going to work. But criminals are running around with it. You soon get tired. You soon get tired because the cake in your hand will soon finish. We're talking about truth, that our pathway is anchored on truth. As a result, false proposals from the enemy cannot become our reality or a solution. This goes for those that want to say, oh, I want to bring parliamentary system. Your parliamentary system is unacceptable.
Totally unacceptable.
Some says, oh, 1960, we want to bring 1960 and 1963 constitution is unacceptable. And sometimes it's lawyers, so-called lawyers. I say, these ones, what type of law school did they go to? Are you daft?
They have been paid. They have been paid.
Yeah, they have been paid.
Misinform the people.
Exactly. So both of these constitutions represent incomplete decolonization. Why? Because they will not give back the ethnic nations their sovereignty, their ancestral lands, and assets that were stolen. So any conversation that is not starting from how do we undo what the white man did years back is a waste of our time.
Total waste of our time.
From 1884-85, Africa was balkanized, including our land. And then they came down and imposed structures in our land. And we're saying that cannot happen anymore. We are going down to the foundation to decolonize, to remove all the colonial structures on our ancestral lands so that we can live the way God proposed that we should live. Any restructuring or proposal for restructuring not based on these facts is dead on arrival. Transitioning is the only safety road to change. So all this we broke down for you credit goes back to Ninas, because this information did not come from us. It's from all that Nina's saying. Through the week, we break it down, come and make you understand it. We bring it to your level so that it can become everyday conversation, something that you can stay at home and discuss with your family members, your children. That's what we want. Our expectation is it took years to get our people very ignorant. So we're here sitting down to break it down, break the information down so that our people can get informed. Because you cannot tie down a people that are very informed. You
Nope.
must be ignorant for you to be enslaved and the slavery continue. So for your liberty, you must get this information out. Break it down in your family, everywhere. And so-called churches, any church where they are not discussing these things, it is not church. It is the colonial master's institution sent to distract you from what will free you and your family. And say no to them. Thank you very much. I'll allow my sister to continue.
Thank you, sister. I'm still sitting here thinking how I can mistakenly steal 44 billion naira. Like, which computer would I be pressing to mistakenly make 44 billion naira to
In
decide?
5 days, though, in 5 days, the first day you steal,
Yeah.
second day, so an all mistake.
My dear, because I want to make that kind of mistake. Where is the system? Let me go and make my own mistake. I'll only make it for 2 days. I won't make it for 5 days. Just 2 days. That's all I need. 2 days of mistake. All right. Well done. So our pathway is anchored on the truth. And no one can make the constitution except by the people. We keep reminding you guys that it's the constituents that will make the constitution. Any other advice from the criminal sound members? Any other advice from the ones that are on TV shouting from pillar to post? I saw one lamenting yesterday, oh, that Soludo made P2B to lose the election and this and that. And said, cha, put you on, stop lamenting, old man. Go and get a job if you can get one. You guys should stop all that madness. Stop distracting our people from what they should be listening to and paying attention to and trying to work with. As if information that will help on what I say just to continue the distraction or the distractions. So of course we cannot end without the Nina's 5-point propositions that we have summarized. Once again, the first one is to acknowledge the constitutional grievances as we raise in our union disputes, a commitment to decommission the imposed fraudulent 1999 unitary constitution that has led you nowhere. And then no further elections, which ended in your so-called interregnum president that is there selling everything. The rest that is remaining, he hands over to his brother's son, his nephew. Everybody's now trying to turn into another franchise like Redeem. Everybody is getting their own, and then he will be getting the final cut. Because we know that the outcome will be disastrous, which you're witnessing. The fourth one is the constituent peoples of Nigeria to work at the modalities for transitioning. And that's one thing some of these rich men cannot understand. We want to involve everyone. Your gate man deserves freedom. Your gate man deserves dignity. Your cook deserves dignity. We don't want them to wait to eat until you give them money. We don't want them to turn you into their God. We want to give people back their dignities, whether they are cleaning toilets or they are cleaning houses. They need to be able to say, oh, I can take care of my children with my salary. That's the atmosphere that we are trying to create. That's the environment that we are trying to create. This godly attitude that a lot of you have, because you have left our people so down and out that only when Onwa is back in town can we see light. That has to go. And the last on our list is the announcement of a two-time stage. Oh my God! Announcement of a timed two-stage transitioning with firstly multi-regional referendums for constituent components to recommit to or opt out of Nigeria Union, and secondly these 2 terms of union. So whatever is the outcome of the referendum is what will be the second part. And finally is our announcement. Our spotlight on Wisdom of Our Ancestors is still coming. That's loading. We want to load them all up so we can hit you guys with it on a weekly basis. So listen to our sister. She's there educating our people. So it's something to listen to when you're eating lunch, going to work, and trying to get yourself informed. And Twitter Tuesday is our day for us to tweet about Ninas. All these things are the little things you can do from your neck of the wood to impact what we're doing. And of course, if you want to learn more and become an expert, you can go to ninasvoice.org. We have wealth of information as well as the Dog Truth platforms. We have information on our YouTube channels and or channel X, what is it called? X, and Facebook channels. So all of them are there for you to learn from and go and educate our people so that they can get their freedom back, so they can be stop being distracted by ego na bola na dollar. We need to get our brain back so that we can prepare an environment that will be sustainable for our children to thrive in. Because what we have now we are leaving our children vulnerable, if you ask me. And last but not least, we want, of course, to insist on transition. So anyone telling you anything else, governors coming to be in the front of protests, here, fraud alert. They don't mean well for you. They have collected their own share. Why is he protesting? All these years, all of them. So they always come in. Every time we are trying to do good things for our people, they will come and insert themselves and then courier the thing. Them and their families will fly out to the next location and enjoy the rest of their lives. So let's be smart Africans, like our sister does on Tuesdays. And we want to thank you for your time and your attention. Continue to help us to share as usual. You know what they're doing. We're not relying on Facebook and all these other people or platforms to get our people the information that they need. This thing is downloadable. That's why we left it open for you to download so you can share with others. As the week roll on, we'll break it down even further so that you can have it in 5 or 10 minutes video, just engage you throughout the view. So thank you so much. We definitely, truly appreciate you for all that you do. It's all about all of us. And until next week, we shall return. Bye for now.